The Gospel of John often gives us a different perspective on things. And part of the reason for this is that John's Gospel was the last one written, and it avoids simply repeating what was in the others. It also serves as a type of corrective element for the early church. For example, John's Gospel might stress a particular point that is being misunderstood by the early converts. And the role of the Baptist in John's Gospel illustrates this quite dramatically. If you read John's Gospel, and only John's Gospel, the Baptist does not baptize. That may sound odd, but it's true. If you only read John's Gospel, you would be hard-pressed to say why this man was known as a baptizer. There's no scene of thousands going out to the desert, and there's no scene of Jesus being baptized by John. There's only this brief reference that we had at the end of the reading today. This happened across from the Jordan where John was baptizing. Instead, John is presented in this gospel more as a witness, one who testifies to who Jesus is. In today's section, he says who he is not. I am not the Christ. And he describes himself as one who tries to prepare the way of the Lord. In another sense, John is what we would call part of Jesus' advance team. For example, whenever the Pope travels, there's always a team that goes before him to prepare every aspect of the visit. Sometimes they make the trip several times, making sure how long it will take to walk from point A to point B, and where is it that the Pope would eat and sleep and speak. And John is saying basically that's what he is. He is the advance man. So why exactly that is goes beyond the purposes of this homily, but it might be a topic for a scripture class. What's important is to emphasize John's role as a witness to the presence of the Lord. That's what he does with his life, and that's what brings him fulfillment and meaning. He wants to lead others to Christ, and that's his main purpose for preaching and indeed for baptizing. Now, how does that relate to you and me as we hear this gospel on the third Sunday of Advent? One ways that it might relate to us is to get us to see our part in our role as Christians to witness to the presence of Christ in my life and to lead others to Christ. We begin today the second half of Advent, the season of preparing for Christ's birth. What type of witness might we be, and how and where do we witness? For most of us, the place of witnessing is in our family. We need to bring and show Christ to the others with whom we live. What better Christmas present than offering your parents or your children or your sisters and brothers, your grandchildren, the forgiveness and compassion of Christ? Witness to his presence in the world by making him present in your own family. Tell your parents that you love them. Let them see this love in your actions. Parents, show your child, especially the one that might be challenging, not only your patience, but your commitment, to reach out one more time in charity and love. That is just as much a witness to your faith as being here worshiping in church. Perhaps this witnessing to the presence of Christ might be reaching out to others who have not been as active or present in the church as they once were. Invite them back. Share with them the schedule for Christmas. Be a witness to and for Christ. We may not all be called John, but we are indeed called to be what he was, a witness to the presence of Christ.